Hey everyone, so I wanted to come out and make a current global tier list for Persona 5X, and I want to be very clear about what I'm referencing in this video. What I am referencing is current global rankings respective to each role. What this means is I am not referencing 6 months down the line worth of patches to account for power creep. Some characters are going to get power crept, that is just how gachas work. I am referencing how they currently stand now in the first month of global release. This tier list is partially going to be just because of my opinion, but I have also gone ahead and referenced the Pridewin.gd tier list, the GameMate.co tier list, Blaze the First tier list, and Zoniva's tier list, just to make sure that my takes don't wildly stray from the common consensus of everyone else who has played this game for such a long time. I did this striving to give you the most accurate results possible. All the other tier lists I just mentioned and videos will be in the description down below. So by all means, without further ado, let's get right into it. So as for DPS, I'm going to put Joker in S tier. I don't think anyone's going to argue this. He's the current premium 5-star DPS option. There's no arguing that. He's the most consistent option in just about every piece of content that there is currently in the game. And as of right now on global, if you need a reliable DPS, he is your go-to. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the D tier because honestly, I don't think any character in this game's D tier. I don't even think any character in this game is really bad. So I am going to be tempted to put Panther in the same tier as Joker. She's really easy to play. She's really fun to play. And she's also really easy to get full value out of her since both of her best supports are 4 stars. Now onto Ryuji, I'm going to put him in A tier. And I've had a lot of people in my comments trying to tell me that Ryuji's just absolute slop tier, and honestly, I haven't seen a single person that agrees with that. I'm not exactly sure if it's just some sort of Ryuji hate or what, but people keep trying to say Ryuji's just absolute trash, and I really can't see it. As of right now, he's the best boss killer you have in the game. If you're running him in a boss situation, he's honestly up here. But on average, in most content, he's going to be either A or B, but I'm just going to put him in A because he does shine in boss killing situations more than any other DPS in the game. As for Fleurette, he is another character that strives in boss killing situations specifically. He's another single target DPS focused character. And I'm going to place him right next to Ryuji just because they're both great at boss killing, but majority of the game's content is AoE anyway, which is the only reason I really put them below Joker and Panther. Depending on the support you have on your account, Fleurette could actually be more or less consistent than Ryuji, so these are kind of interchangeable, but in boss killing situations, they're both just really good options. Now I know from TikTok that there are a lot of Mont enjoyers, but I'm going to put her in B tier. And honestly, the only reason for this is that I don't feel like she currently has a team that she shines in. Fleurette has supports that make him a lot better, like Morgana that keeps up Windswept, but Mont just currently doesn't really have that. And I'm going to go ahead and put Closer right next to her because I honestly just think she suffers from the same thing. She suffers from not having a proper team to play around her, and these two just don't have teams that they shine in just yet. Now Sepia, while I agree he is fun to play, I'm going to sadly have to put him in this tier. I haven't been able to play him too much, but in every tier list I've seen, this is where he's been placed, so I'm just going to have to accept that he's probably just down here. In the times I have played him, he has been fun, but I haven't tested him extensively, so I'm just going to have to go with what everyone else says and put him in C. Now as for Rin, I actually haven't been able to pull her yet, but every single tier list I've seen has placed her right up here. I know that she's able to reduce opponents' defense and increase their damage taken, and I know that she's the premium option as a support for a Joker. As far as I'm concerned, she earns her spot up here in the support category. As for Leon, I'm going to stay true to all the tier lists that I made on TikTok, but I'm going to put him here, but honestly, I would listen to any argument that places him in S. For the sake of this tier list, I'm going to put him a tier below, but Leon is also just a great support. He's the best 4-star support that you can have. Just a great buffer to have on the team overall and a fantastic 4-star to build. Now, as for Riddle, I'm going to put her in B tier right below these two. Again, I don't think any character in this game is necessarily bad. Just because a character's in B or C doesn't mean that I think they're terrible. But she's just outclassed by Leon and Rin, and honestly, I don't think that's arguable. These two are just insane. And I'm going to go ahead and put Moko right next to her. Same thing. They both slot well into just about any team that they can, but the other two above them are just better options. Now, as for Key, he is a tricky one and one I'm going to have to go more in depth with. This is a character that a lot of people on TikTok didn't agree with me because I put him down here. And just about every other tier list I've seen, he's been about down here or right here. The problem that Key has in comparison to all the other supports in the game is that he's good in one team, and that is the On team. He does not slot into any other team. If you are running him with On, he is honestly S tier. If you're not running him with On, he's down here. Just because Key is down here does not mean he is bad. It just means he's niche. And that's why he's placed low in so many tier lists. And he is the perfect example of some characters that are low tier can shine if given the right team. But as for the sake of the tier list, he's going to be down here. Now, as for Morgana, I'm going to put him in S tier just for sustain. Morgana has access to an active and a passive heal. He will keep your team alive basically no matter what. If you're thinking pure survivability and pure sustain, Morgana is up here. But the thing is, Morgana can only heal. If we are talking purely sustain and purely the ability to keep the team alive, Morgana is probably the top option. But if you were talking in a more general sense with buffing and everything included, he would be lower. But since this is sustain, he's going up top. Now, as for Lufel, I am going to place him in the same tier as Morgana, but I am going to place him a tick above to the left. Lufel is another great sustainability option. You can keep your team alive very well, very easily. But Lufel also has access to some sort of buffing capability and can output a little bit more damage. The exception to this where Morgana would be better is if you were running them with Furret. But in a more general sense, Lufel will be literally the same sustainability as Morgana, basically just having more buffing capabilities next to it. These two are kind of interchangeable, but this is where I'm going to place them. Now, Soy is a character I'm going to place in A tier right below these two. Soy is amazing at keeping your team alive while also outputting good damage, but if you're talking in a pure sustained heal standpoint, he's just a tick below Cattle and Morgana. And I'm going to go ahead and place Yuki right below these two. Yuki can work if you decide to use her, but I really just don't feel like she has a team where she really slots in better than these three at all. She'll just be worse at keeping your team alive than Cattle, Morgana, and Soy, but that by no means means you can't run her. If you want to, go ahead. As for the Navigators, I went ahead and I put them both in S tier. If you want to do the content where you need two teams, you need to build them both anyway, so I don't think there's any real reason to argue one or the other. As of right now, they're the only two Navigators in the game, and every team needs a Navigator, so Okeon is better than Puppet if you want damage. Puppet is better than Okeon if you need survivability. Puppet gives you shields. Okeon gives you damage buffs. Now, they're both amazing. They both have to be built. They're both great in their own niches. Might as well just place them both in S. And if you wanted a tier list that was more overall and just overall pull value, build value, then this is what I've decided to put together here. These are not organized left to right. These are organized simply by their tiers. Again, there are some characters like Key that if you run him in a certain team, he will be way higher, but just because of his nicheness, he's down here. And I'm sorry to every Seppian enjoyer. S tier would be units that are just great, no matter where you put them just about. A tier units are amazing, B tier units are good, and C tier units are just okay, and pretty niche. If there's anything in this tier list you don't agree with, I'm more than open to conversation in the comments, and I would love to hear any arguments against anything I put here. Just don't be a weirdo about it, and I'm more than happy to conversate with you. As always, I hope you learned something from this, and if this did help you at all, I hope to see you again sometime. I'll be taking my leave now. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.